Hello everyone, welcome to Noob Kitchen. This channel is basically to show everyone how to do the basics of cooking. I'm no professional cook myself, so don't expect to learn any kung fu knife skills or others from me. What we're going to do here is just kind of show you around the kitchen and a few recipes that I've come up with that I think you might find interesting and pretty tasty too. So, that said, let's get on to. All right, today I thought we'd do just a little bit of Super Bowl Sunday chili since it is Super Bowl Sunday. I'll start out with the ingredients for you. Here we have 2 cans diced tomatoes, both 14.5 ounces. We have 1 can of small red beans, and we have another can here of kidney beans, red kidney beans. We're also going to need 1 can of 6-ounce tomato paste that'll help thicken the sauce a bit, and 2 pounds ground beef, lean. I chose 97% lean since this will reduce the need to drain it, and a little bit of fat content in your chili is going to make it taste a little more rich. Here we have a spice blend that I made. You can either buy a spice blend or I just threw this together. Basically it's roughly 6 teaspoons of paprika, 1 1/4 teaspoons garlic powder, 1 1/4 teaspoons ground cumin, 1 teaspoon chili powder, 1 teaspoon dried oregano leaves, and 1 teaspoon sea salt. And then you're going to add in 1 1/2 teaspoons cornstarch. You'll mix this with 3/4 cups of water after you get it in the chili mix, and we'll be set to go. So that said, let's break out our pot here, and we're going to start cooking. I'll start browning the ground beef. All right, now we're going to add and brown 2 pounds ground beef. I chose 97% lean. Like I said, for just a little less fat in our diets. I happen to have high cholesterol, and I'm sure a few of you might have as well. So wherever we can cut a little bad fats out, I guess we'll save a little flavor with 2% fat, but we do need to be conscious, of how much fat's getting in our diet. We add the other pound here, and we'll cook this up and get ready to add our spices and canned goods. Now I know this seems like a big pot of chili, but it can be frozen and stay, frozen in your refrigerator, in your freezer for up to 30 days probably, or more, depending on how cold you keep your freezer. Let me turn that down just a little bit. I think we're on just a little too high a heat. And we'll want to continue breaking this up because, depending on how chunky you want your chili, you can actually cook this in the pan and let it sit here for 4 or 5 minutes, depending on how large your pan is. And then just break it up there, and you'll get little larger chunks of beef or granules, whatever they call it. I kind of like my chili a little more on the chunky side, so we're not going to break it up quite so much. I'm mashing it a little bit here, but we'll let this cook a while, and we'll come back to it, after it's been cooking for, we'll give it 6 or 7 minutes. We'll give this another stir before I say bye to you for just a few minutes, and then we'll pop back in after it's about done cooking. Alright, now that it looks like our ground beef crumbles are just about browned and ready to go, looks like we're probably at a safe 165 degrees. If you ever got a question about that, you might want to get yourself a little thermometer and you can check it out there and make sure that everything's safe. But with ground beef, you definitely want to get it at 165 plus, for safety guidelines. Alright, now we're going to add in the beans. We're going to add in each can of beans, juice and all. So we'll just pour those in. We're going to use that juice that's in the beans as kind of a thickener. We'll pour this other one in. Alright, we'll stir that just a little bit to kind of get that incorporated so we can see where all those beans are going. And as you can see, when you use the 2 different types of beans, it really does add a little bit of visual texture and texture to your meal here. Alright, now we'll add in the 2 cans of tomatoes. Making sure that we pour away from ourselves unless we really want, a red polka dotted cooking apron. All right, we'll stir that in there, and now we'll add the spice mixture, which I somehow have left on the other counter. Hold on, I'll be right back. All right, we'll use our freakishly small spoon here and add in the spice mixture. I'm not really sure where I got this spoon at, but it's really been handy to get down inside of cans, you know, like the small one that I'm going to show you next of the tomato paste. You get these small cans of tomato paste, you can almost never get a spoon in there. So what I found is I get this little spoon here, and you can get clear down in the bottom and there's no waste. Otherwise you got to try and get a bigger cooking spoon in there, and that almost never works. All right, and maybe I can't even get it out with this, but we're sure going to give it a shot. Tomato paste is one of those things, if you get it in a tube, it's really easy to use. I actually prefer the tubes, but my store didn't have any in stock right now, so we have to deal with what we've got. When we're cooking on the cheap and we're noob cooks, hey, who cares if it's done right as long as it gets done and tastes good. I think it's more important that we get the food out on the table to keep our families happy than it is to be fancy. That's why you're never going to see me do fancy cutting or fancy anything. We're just going to make food that's plain simple and tastes good. I imagine we'll try and add in some, you know, noodle recipes and things like that in the future, but for now we're going to start out simple with this. We're going to think of this as my learning experience while I'm trying to teach someone else. I'm actually learning each of these recipes as we go, just kind of experimenting along. So as I show you, I'm learning as you're learning. We're in this together. All right, now all we want to do is get this heated up, and then guess what? Your chili will be done. We'll give this about, I'd say 10-15 minutes here on the stove at a probably medium heat. Or to low. Let's put this on low and let this simmer. We don't want to burn, you know, the beans to the bottom of the pot, because they can burn to the bottom. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this on low, and we're going to let this simmer for about 15, maybe 20 minutes, and that should give it plenty of time to let that cornstarch work its magic, and then this sauce is going to thicken up, and we will be ready to serve a bowl of Super Bowl chili. I'll be right back when it's done, and we'll show you the end result. All right, now we're timed down to the pièce de résistance. We'll plate some up and give it a try. You can see how that cornstarch thickened it up, and now everything is nice and solid, so you get a nice thick chili. And I don't know about you, but I like a little sharp cheddar. I like to use sharp cheddar. It's my go-to cheese. I think it gives everything just a little bit more flavor. And there we have it. One bowl of Super Bowl chili made just for you, by you. And remember, no matter how little experience you have, you can do it. If I can do it, this is the first time, you can do it. So remember, while you're cooking, have fun and enjoy.